Hi guys, my name is Jessica and welcome to my Majestical World, where through life's changes, I hope to inspire your creativity in seeing the beauty within you, around you, and for you. And in today's video, we are going to be doing our makeup look, getting ready for the day, as well as diving in to Brené Brown's book, The Gift of Imperfection. This is actually video number 2. If you missed video number 1, that video link is in the description below. Let's dive into our video number 2 of Beauty is More Than Skin Deep series. So I'm just going to give you the lineup of products that we're using, and you guys can just see how they are applied. And if you have any questions or would like to know more details, definitely comment below, let me know, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have. So my foundation that I'm going to be using today is the Lancôme CC Cream. It's very dry outside, and so I really need something to kind of hydrate, lock that moisture in, but also something that's going to give me a little coverage as well. Of course, as always, we have already done our whole skincare regimen. We're going to be using the Lancôme Dual Finish Powder, the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder, Anastasia Beverly Hills Berry Adore Blush Trio. For our contour, we're going to be using the Natural Face by Too Faced. For my eyeshadow, we're going to be doing a soft smoky eye, mainly using black with just a few plums, and we're going to be getting those colors from the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette, and be using Silk Teddy from the Too Faced Naked Eyes. For our eyeshadow primer, we're going to be using the Pur Cease Crease. Most of my brushes that I'm using are IT brushes. If you want more details on brushes, I will link that video below. You can check that out. We're going to also be using Lancôme Hypnose Drama Mascara. Our eyeliner is going to be the MAC Black Track. We have gone over our makeup setup. We're going to start applying the beauty on the outside while we talk about applying the beauty on the inside. So I decided to share this series with you guys because one of my favorite things about being a stylist is really connecting with my clients. And I mean, of course, I love when they leave my chair and they see something that they never thought that they would ever see, or they see their beauty that they didn't even know existed. But I also thoroughly enjoy the clients where we connect on a deeper level and we talk about the beauty within, and we talk about our challenges with that, our obstacles, and what we want to see in ourselves as well as those around us. I'm hoping to bring that same idea and that same connection with my viewers, because in a world where it seems like we're so connected, we've also lost the intimacy of connections. I feel like this is important to really see our beauty within and to share that with one another. And so in this video, talking about the next portion of Brené Brown's book, it really talks about what keeps us from having those connections. And for one, it helped me to feel like I was not alone, especially when you live in a world where sometimes it's so easy to feel like you're the only one and like you're by yourself. It's important for us to understand and to remember that our beauty really is more than skin deep. When we're able to share that with one another, we just then become more beautiful as a community and as a whole and as a people. So, real quick before we talk about the topics in this video, last week we talked about courage, compassion, and connection. That video is in the link below. I don't think it's really going to be that big of a difference whether you watch this video and then that video, or that video and then this video. Either way, they're going to be connected. The first topic for today is belonging. And so I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't matter where I've been, whether it was in high school, whether it was churches. I really had a hard time belonging. I wouldn't necessarily say that I was an outsider. So you're caught somewhere like in between, so you really don't know where you fit in, or who you can trust. You just kind of feel like you're hanging out in limbo. And I think because of that, it's not even just fitting in, because like I could fit in with lots of people, but it's like where I belonged. Because I mean, I guess, because you fit in, I guess, with people that are kind of like you, or that people kind of put you in this demographic, or you change something about yourself so you do fit in with those people. But to belong to those people, or for someone to belong to you, in a sense, not in a controlling sense, but just as far as like that heart connection, I mean, that's really tough. And the only way to find that is to be vulnerable. You know how like you fit in with people, but then you just feel like something is missing. And it's the belonging. Fitting in and belonging are two totally different things. So I'm going to read a quote from Brene that says, "It's much easier to say I'll be whoever or whatever you need me to be, as long as I feel like I'm part of this. From gangs to gossiping, we'll do what it takes to fit in if we believe it will meet our need for belonging. But it doesn't. We can only belong when we offer our most authentic selves and when we're embraced for who we are." Wow, hello. There's so many times where I just don't connect. Like, it's hard for me to belong. Like, and I can't really say that it's a Connecticut thing, because I really didn't feel like I belonged much in Alabama. I would have to say the only time I really felt like I belonged in Alabama was with my Hope group, which was this amazing group of people. But to break it down, it was a group of people who came together, and all of our differences and our different walks of life, we came together accepting one another. The only requirement to come to the Hope group meeting was that you're open-minded. It's a judge-free zone, and so it was a safe place. I guess that was probably one time in my life that I knew that I could be authentic, and it took me 27 years to get to that point. We were not looking to fit in, we were looking to connect. And I think that is, for me, that's maybe it's a lost, it's not a lost gift. I feel like everybody's looking for it. We've got to have this tough exterior, like we have everything together. And I am probably more guilty of that than just about anybody I know. I know that it keeps me from connecting and from belonging, because it's what's in here that keeps me from that. That's something that you also struggle with. Like, let me know in the comments below. It's nice to know that we're not alone in this journey to being a fully authentic self. It was because I wasn't really sure who I was. Or maybe I wanted to reinvent myself, or maybe there was just so much shame as far as feeling like a terrible person because I had left my family, so I felt like I had abandoned my family. And I was like the caretaker. Like, I was the person that, like, when things were falling apart, just called Jessica. I got so much of my identity was doing that. And then when I left that, it was like I had so much shame because I felt like I had abandoned my purpose. So have you ever felt like that? That portion of the book was really relevant as far as like the belonging, but then she talks about the things that get in the way of it, which is authenticity. And then we are not authentic because of shame and guilt. One thing that just helped me to have some clarity as to whether I was thinking in shame or thinking in guilt is when you have a mindset of shame, Brene says that your thoughts in your head are, I am a bad person, to whereas guilt says, I did something bad. I just associated the two as being the same. I mean, that would make sense as to why some people can do things and get over and not think it's that big of a deal. A guilty conscience can do something and then it's done and over with once they forget about it. But like someone lives in like a shame mentality over something, it keeps coming up, like they feel like they're a terrible person because they did one wrong thing or one thing that maybe was not the expectation of those around them. So I'll just give you guys one of my shame revelations and then we'll go on to the next topic. I don't guess I really understood exactly what shame was to know when I was in a shame sinking hole. In the book, she uses a shame storm, but a storm is when there's chaos all around you, to whereas when I feel like I'm really into my shame, I feel like I can't breathe, so I feel like I'm literally suffocating and something's just sucking me in, and so that's why I'm using a sinkhole. By being able to talk about your shame, it doesn't give it any power, and so I didn't know the freedom that would come of being vulnerable with someone. So this book is helping me to learn how to be a better friend, be a better partner, because it's helping me to talk things out and to process what is really lying underneath the surface. And it was kind of like once I was able to start seeing myself detach those projections and those ties to other people. And I want to be the person that my friends can be around where they feel empowered to go and be their best self. The thing is I couldn't be that person for them if I can't be some of that person for myself, to understand that it goes both ways. Yeah, so what's crazy though is that before I even started reading this book, I decided that I needed to be vulnerable, that I wanted to be almost like an open book when it comes to certain things, because I was just tired of not connecting. The one thing that she says, that Brene says in the book, that really hit home for me was because I was just, I mean, this has been years, like, I was like, I just want to be vulnerable with anybody. I want everybody to feel comfortable around me. However, one thing that she talks about is that not everyone has the right to your story. It's helping me to decide who is worth, not who is worth, but who has the right to hear my story, and who I know will be there to give me the right guidance or counsel that I may need in that moment. I don't need someone to tell me that I'm right. I need someone to maybe just sit there. We all need that, because that helps us to open up this level of vulnerability, which then leads to a level of connection. But by telling your story to the wrong person, that can make you feel worse than before you even opened up, and create an even more of an explosion in your shame storm. So maybe you have been that friend. I have been that friend where, you know, I definitely said the wrong thing when someone came to me, and you don't realize it until later. That's what sharing this with you guys and processing it for myself and also vlogging it, I'm hoping will help me to be the friend that I also need in the middle of the chaos, that offers empathy and that offers comfort instead of walking away and building a wall, because that has been my thing for years. So then that gets us to our next word, which is worthiness. Little did I know how little I thought of my worthiness until I read this book. And so the definition of worthiness is quality of being good enough, the quality of deserving attention or respect. And then she goes in to talk about the hustle for worthiness. Hello, I am a worthiness hustler. Just going to throw that out there. In my head, when I think of hustling, I think of responsibility. I think of owning it. I think of if you're like owning your own hustle, you're not worried about what is going on around you and what other people are doing. So I love a good hustle, but I didn't realize how much of my hustle was also a hustle for worthiness. That was kind of crazy. So like we hustle to prove ourselves. If you grow up poor, you grow up trying to prove your worth. So you're hustling, trying to make sure like you're able to accomplish those things. And so you can also hustle for friends and your social acceptance. You can also hustle for a partner's love, which means that you do everything to the point of exhaustion just to make sure that your significant other, your partner, is satisfied. And that comes from the lack of worthiness or feeling. That comes from feeling the lack of your worthiness. So we hustle for friends and a social acceptance. So which that can be something as simple as going against our core values just so we're not alone. Nothing feels lonelier than having people around you but they don't get you. And then another place that we all hustle is at our workplace. And I'm not really even talking about a work ethic kind of hustle. I'm just talking about what are you doing to prove that you matter at work, other than just you've been a loyal employee. People that lack knowing their worthiness tend to go above and beyond those that are around them to prove themselves. And hello, yours truly. And part of it is I enjoy doing a job well done. But there are times when it's not so much that I do it to enjoy it as I do it to prove a point. And I think that is what she's talking about. If you have thoughts on ways that maybe you hustle for your worthiness, let me know. There again, down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on your hustle for worthiness, and if that is something that you struggle with as well, and something that maybe you're going to try to work on is to understand your worthiness. After doing this study of worthiness, one thing that I'm going to do is challenge myself and to practice having mental conversations. If others don't see my value and don't value my worthiness, to not go to instantly thinking that I'm a bad person because they don't see that in me, because that's something that really has to come from within. It's really nobody else's responsibility. You can't expect someone else to want to be at a connection level when that's not their desire, when they're struggling with their own lack of self-worth and they don't even know it. And then one thing that I have already started to do is have honest conversations about shame with those that are closest to me, and to try to be open to that vulnerability, as well as make sure that I listen and then have empathy, not sympathy, and compassion to those around me. But then also know who has the right to hear my story. So, and just kind of basically open that awareness for the discernment. Because if someone's not at a mental place to be able to hear what you have to say, then it's only going to trigger that shame for yourself. So we are nearing the end of our makeup. Thank you guys so much for joining me during this video. And just know that you are not alone in this crazy world, and that we all have a desire for connection. You're not alone, my beautiful friends, on this journey to understanding and living in your worthiness. And if you got an aha during this video, or if you're gonna pick up this book and read it, and hopefully it will change your life, maybe it will be a little freeing for you like it has been for me, let me know in the comments below if you had any ahas, and have a great day, and I'll see you later, creators.